Hello, 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 everyone. You see the title of this video. You've seen the other two videos, probably. Okay, here we go. Number 10. Men in Black 3 made $179 million domestic, $475.1 international, and a total worldwide gross of $654.2 million.
I'm putting Men in Black 3 in the high B tier.
That's crazy. I'm putting Men in Black 3 in the C tier.
Ooh, I can see why you would put it in the C tier, but I love this movie. It was so much better than the second one. It added more character stuff that I loved about J and K, and I think Josh Brolin was a delight, and it was fun and great, and I want to watch it again.
Did you watch Men in Black 1 and 2 before this, or did you just...
No, I just went into this because I used to watch those a lot, so I remember them. This is like the only one I never really watched a lot.
So, I forgot how gross these fucking movies are.
They're nasty.
I was eating and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Men in Black 3. Let's just get this over with. And then the film starts with Boris's hand opening and then a bug comes out of it or into it or whatever the fuck. It's so gross. And then, like, the whole thing in that restaurant, these movies are gross and you cannot eat while you watch them. The visuals are really flat, but the compositions are kind of compelling. The visual effects are simultaneously really good and simultaneously really bad. As far as, like, the three actors go, I thought Will Smith was like, he's not at the height of his powers here. His comedy chops aren't there.
Just turn your damn cell phone off. Now you're gonna drive off a cliff tonight because your GPS don't work.
I don't think he had a whole lot to do dramatically. Like, there's a twist in here that's really great, but I don't think he's allowed to meet the moment a lot of the time. In that moment specifically, like, as the audience, we're in it and we're like, wow, what a twist. This is amazing. And their whole connection and blah, 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 blah. But then Empire State of Mind starts playing. And I'm trying to get in this moment. They're like, nope, not allowed to have feelings. Josh Brolin is great. I enjoyed Josh Brolin a lot. But I think Tommy Lee Jones is probably the best part about this movie, even though he's barely in it, because he has the funniest line in the movie, which is in the beginning when they're confronting Wu, and he's just like,
Don't nobody want none of your nasty ass noodles, Wu.
You're a piece of shit, Will.
and he doesn't like change his expression whatsoever. I was thoroughly entertained. I think it might work better on a second watch because Kay alludes to a lot of things early on that are paid off at the end. But yeah, not the worst movie in the world. It's a movie. Number 9, The Hunger Games made $408 million domestic, $286.3 international, with a worldwide total gross of $694.3 million. The Hunger Games, more like hungering for a good movie, D tier.
D tier? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm putting it in the low C tier.
What a mid movie. Holy shit, this movie's mid.
I feel like it's so slightly above average. It's like the tiniest, like, jump above average.
Where?
I think it's a very interesting concept.
Sure.
It's like Fortnite, but like the movie, and it's kind of like...
Sure.
It has a story that is trying to say something. I don't think it really conveys that very well, but it's so slightly above average. I can't even, like,
Well,
say
what
it's
they're
terrible.
trying to convey is that the rich are really gay. They're like, the rich, they're just so gay. They're sucking and fucking each other
Yeah.
the whole time. The only thing I liked in this movie were the scenes between Donald Sutherland and Wes Bentley, which only last like maybe a minute and a half in total. The rest of it is just like mid. There's a couple of iconic moments, obviously, when Rue dies from Euphoria, and also the, you know, the Mockingjay sign, the whistle, and all that. Like, those are cool moments, but I just feel like it's a lot of build up to this thing that's supposed to wow you. It's sort of like the Avengers, which we'll talk about, but here it's like a lot of build up to this fight or this thing, right? That's like over almost half the movie. But the staging of most of the action scenes don't hold up if you think about them for more than half a second. Like, for example, when she's up on the tree and they're trying to hit her with the bow and arrow, but they're right under her, and if they just walked back like 10 paces, she'd be dead. There's stuff like that throughout all of these scenes that are mind-boggling. Josh Hutcherson, whatever his name is, I don't know, he gave like a pornographic performance at times in the third act. I don't know, it's whatever. I just don't care. It's for 12-year-olds.
The ending, not the direct ending, but the end of the Hunger Games themselves, it happens so fast, and it's like we don't really have a time to absorb what is going on.
Yeah, they just randomly put dogs in the movie.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Well, it is for children, like I said.
And there's gonna be a new one this year. Did you know that?
Yep, don't care. Couldn't be bothered.
Hunter Schafer's in it, so I'm gonna see it for her.
Shit, I forgot. Damn it. I have to watch it now. God
yeah,
damn it.
I'm gonna see it. I'm seeing it opening weekend for her.
Shit. Okay. Number 8, Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted, made $216.3 million domestic, $530.5 million international, with a worldwide total gross of $746.9 million. Madagascar 3, Europe's Most Wanted, more like D tier's Most Wanted.
I'm putting it in the low C tier under Hunger Games.
Okay, I put it above Hunger Games. Because the first like half of this movie, the first half
bonkers
is so good. I was
it's
like,
so funny.
Whoa,
This movie's great.
The whole Monte Carlo chase with Frances McDormand's character, also Frances McDormand's in this movie. What the hell is this cast? Jessica Chastain is in it as Gia, the Italian lion or whatever the fuck, and Noah Baumbach has a story credit.
Oh wow,
yeah. Insane. But that first chase made me love the whole first half of the movie. It's bananas. The camera's going places. Even though the animation low-key looks like Sausage Party.
Yeah, it does.
The way
it's
that
like a little bit more advanced than Sausage Party, I would say.
Sure.
The tiniest bit.
Sure. But the camera's like going places. They're like using things from film that we are familiar with to make it funny. Like when the ship is shooting the banana minigun, the banana's like raining down like bullets on top of the camera. There's like wild, fun things that are happening throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Once they join the circus, all of that just goes away and it just becomes a drama and it's boring.
Yeah.
And I don't care.
Why is this movie called Madagascar? Do they go to Madagascar at all in this? I don't think so.
I think Frances McDormand's character and her goons get sent back to Madagascar.
Okay.
You can't fuck with the branding, brother.
I don't know. Whatever. That's just a small, stupid nitpick.
Why are you trying to fuck with their
me.
branding, Glenn?
It's bothered me literally for years. I don't know. I don't know why. It just really has.
Here's Times Square with its modern-day corporate lack of character.
Hans Zimmer does the score for this film, which doesn't make any sense.
What the fuck?
And then also when they played Firework, I almost started crying.
Really? Holy shit.
I could not hold it in. I was about to start blubbering. And it's not even because of the movie. It's literally because I haven't heard that song in so long. And Katy Perry's performance is incredible in that. Like in isolation, if like, you know, you haven't heard that song like a gorillion times.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just comes on randomly. You're like, why is my heart growing 3 sizes? What the fuck? Anyway, and then also one more thing. Chris Rock yells every line in this movie.
Yeah, he does.
He's like, I'm Chris Rock, y'all.
Marty? I want to be a circus host.
The Amazing Spider-Man made $262 million domestic, $495.9 million international, with a worldwide total gross of $757.9 million. The Amazing Spider-Man, more like the Amazing D tier.
Damn. I was going to put it in the high C tier.
Yeah, go ahead. Do whatever you want.
We've talked about this movie before, but it's boring. It's Batman Begins-esque. It's
mid. We made a video about both Amazing Spider-Man movies, so if you want a fun time with Spider-Man, watch it, and also you'll know where we're going to put the Amazing Spider-Man 2 on our 2014 tier list when we get there. Moving on. Number... I don't know how to count. Twilight. We're on Twilight now.
Number Twilight.
Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2 made $292.3 million domestic, $537.4 million international, with a worldwide total gross of $829.7 million.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot of money for an F-tier movie.
You're lying. You're lying. You're lying.
No, I'm dead ass.
No. Breaking Dawn Part 2, D tier.
No.
Yes.
Woman knows her trout.
This movie ruined it for me. I was like, this shit is ass.
Nah, you're crazy. I think this is the best sequel. I'm not even kidding.
Actually, wow.
Yes, no
that's
bullshit.
crazy.
This movie has stakes. There are things happening. Like, the story's finally gonna end, so like everything feels like it matters. The lighting is kind of better, even though the CGI environments are horrendous. Like, they use them a lot.
If you weren't holding my hand right now, I could swear this is real.
Speaking of CGI, baby Renesmee, mega
Terrible.
gross, ugly.
Ugly.
Yes, and they keep showing it like it's this impressive feat of filmmaking. I'm like, stop it. Put it
They
away.
really thought they did something.
And it's mostly in inserts too. It's not even like all of the shots of Renesmee are in wide shots. They just keep showing her like it's like cool.
Well, I can see what everyone's been talking about. Jake, you really do stink.
I found myself enjoying it a lot. It's like, especially because like Bella now, her performance is different because she's a vampire, so she doesn't have to be annoying because she has what she wants. And she just goes bananas mode from the beginning. She's like running really fast off the jump. She's like, oh, I could do all these things. But she ended up killing a cougar or a mountain lion or whatever the fuck it is. It was so funny. And then when she finds out that Jacob imprinted on her daughter, the way she yells at him was really funny. She's like,
You nicknamed my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster?
dude, it's so good.
From the beginning, it was Nessie who wanted me.
This film has the most interesting scene out of anything that's happened in all of these movies, and that's when Charlie sort of finds out everything. That is the most interesting thing in this entire series.
But that fucking ending was so bad.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay.
But I do like the build up to the fight when they meet at the ice.
Yeah, that part was cool.
Alice, I think, could have tried harder to convince Michael Sheen's character before she showed him the vision, because like her dad's gonna die, all these people are gonna die, you know, Jasper's gonna die. Like, I feel like even though she knew that he was going to die, like, I just want to see one beat of denial, because she's throughout this whole series been very sure of herself and lived with so much certainty. And I feel like this moment sucks. But whatever, it's fine. Also, like, Edward can read minds, so I don't know how he didn't know that he wasn't going to change his mind already. That doesn't make sense. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, how do you feel about it all being a vision?
It's lame. It's a stupid cop-out. And the action sequence itself was cool and fun and bonkers and crazy. But not having any of these things be real and not having any consequences to them, it's super stupid. I was watching and I was like, wow, this is great. This is actually happening. Oh my gosh. And then it showed that it was a vision. I was like, wow, that really dowered my whole mood. I kind of don't like this. This is stupid.
I don't mind it. I know it's a hot take, probably. I think it was important if he saw how everything went down and all the things that he was going to lose. Because, like, throughout the sequels, he feels unstoppable. He has this threatening aura. Again, like Alice, he's very sure of himself. Once he decides on something, that's sort of what it is. And every time throughout the sequels, they have alluded to him and his reaction to things. It seems like a big deal. So I think convincing him that he's wrong, or just convincing him not to do it, I think is a stronger beat than the fight. It makes it more interesting and less black and white. And also him seeing his own mortality, I think, is also a more interesting beat for the story. But speaking of Alice's vision, she has another one at the end of this movie. What the hell was that? Does Jacob get with Renesmee when she's full grown? Is that what it's saying?
I think so.
At the end, there's a fan cam, and I thought that was hilarious. when she shows him like every feeling and thought that she's had. But then, like, once that ended, because I thought it was kind of funny, Robert Pattinson's performance was very disappointing to me. Because, like, think about it, right? Edward can read minds. He can read everyone's thoughts. He knows how they feel about things, except for the person that he loves. Like, the person that he loves, like, the most of all time ever. I thought it would have been better if, like Alice, because Alice doesn't show any denial or whatever, seeing him feel something and showing a human emotion would have been a really good payoff that we didn't know we needed, that I didn't know I needed. But oh well, fuck it. Who cares? I had a good time. I would watch this again, low key, but it's still like D tier. It's still like not the best.
Fun fact, did you know that this entire series is getting rebooted?
Great. Fun fact, Age Continental Drift made $161.3 million domestic.
Okay.
715.9 international.
Good lord.
Yeah, with a
What the
worldwide total
fuck?
of $877.2 million. We did not give a fuck about this movie. This has the biggest discrepancy from international to domestic
That's fucking wild.
in this top
What
10.
the
It probably might be the biggest discrepancy throughout the whole decade. The discrepancy is 81.6% to 18.4%. That's insane.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's bananas mode. You know what's also insane? This is the first movie in the F tier. This movie is garbage.
Yeah, this movie fucking sucks. I'm putting it in the F tier as well.
This cast is stupid. Why are Nicki Minaj and Drake in
Nicki
this movie?
Minaj, what is happening?
Yeah, Drake is in this movie. He's playing himself. He's just a prick. The first act feels really rushed. Like, not even 10 minutes into the movie, and Keke Palmer's telling Ray Romano that she doesn't want to be his daughter anymore. The pirate song that Peter Dinklage sings is genuinely awful.
Well, I don't want to gloat, but I would like to note that you're in luck.
He can't sing. I don't know why he gets voice acting parts, because his voice doesn't change at all. Remember when he was the voice for that robot in Destiny? Do you remember that?
No, I didn't play Destiny.
You should just stick to Game of Thrones or whatever.
Just to that one series and nothing else.
Yep, that's it. I really hate the celebrity voice acting bullshit. I would really love to watch a movie with real voice actors, and you can have some celebrity cameos or whatever, or celebrity casting, but like, it shouldn't be the whole plate. But it really bothered me that Wanda Sykes' character had no teeth, but she was still using her teeth to talk, like in the audio. It made no sense. A voice actor would have done something with that, but who cares? I did not care about this movie. It is a side quest ass movie. I looked away for 10 minutes. This is genuinely unengaging. Didn't care about a single thing that happened.
I think the only thing I really care about in this movie was Scrat's story continuing. He's a little shit, and he's like fun to watch, and that's like the only thing that really like kept my interest from this entire series, to be honest. Oh, but yeah, this movie fucking sucks. Oh my god, it's so boring.
Moving on, because nothing more boring than watching Ice Age Continental Drift,
And talking
about it. Yeah, you know what I was gonna say. Anyway, number 4, The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey made $303 million domestic, $417 million on the dot international. It's really funny that you're yawning, because that will be a reoccurring theme.
As soon as you mentioned The Hobbit, I got tired.
With a worldwide total of $1,017 million.
Good lord.
Yeah, more like 17 million F tiers. Oh my god. I did not watch this movie again for this video, because I saw it once about a year or two ago, and I was bored to tears. I wanted to cry. It was so boring. This movie sucks. It's too long. It's obviously drawn out to create a second trilogy to get people to spend more money, and it was successful at doing that. But this movie is boring. If you're a fan of this shit, I'm so sorry, but I'm never wasting 3 hours of my life on this movie ever again. It is literally wasting time. This could have been one movie.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't care. Go ahead.
But I'm also putting it in the low D tier because what was the reason? Hold on, let me read my notes real quick.
Oh, I just went on that whole thing without even hearing. I was so mad that I didn't even care about where you put it.
I was trying to interrupt you, but then you kept going. I was like, and then you said, nah, The Hobbit sucks. But I think some of the effects are okay. I do feel transported into where the fuck does this take place? Fucking the forest moon of Endor or wherever the fuck. And I appreciate that, but it is boring as hell, which is strange because I love the Star Wars and like...
Yeah, but Star Wars has things that explode. Explosions didn't exist yet.
It's just not for me. I kind of can get why nerds love it and shit like that, but it's just...
Too white.
Maybe it is too white. Now that you're saying that kind of makes sense. There's no like color in these movies.
No, there's melanin on the
fucking
orcs.
monsters. Yeah.
Number 3, The Dark Knight Rises made $448.1 million domestic, $632.9 million international, with a worldwide total gross of $1,081 million. We have a whole video about the Dark Knight trilogy that we did last year, so if you want to see our thoughts, and I feel like our commentary on The Dark Knight Rises is sufficient in terms of our thoughts. It's probably one of our best commentary videos ever, and I'm going to put it in the High C tier.
I'm gonna put it in the low B tier.
Okay.
I love Bane.
It's quotable.
Yeah. We say all this in the commentary, guys. Just go watch.
Yeah,
the
just go
commentary.
watch it. It's good. All right, number 2
Skyfall.
made $304.3 million domestic.
That's it?
Yeah, domestic. $804.2 million international, with a worldwide total gross of $1.1 billion. Skyfall, more like B-fall. B tier. Let's go.
B tier. I'm going to put it in the high B tier as well.
Yeah, this movie fucking rules. It's so good.
This movie's good. I like this movie. This is the second James Bond movie I've ever seen in full, by the way.
That is fucking bananas.
Did you know that the first James Bond movie I saw was the fucking last one?
You're so stupid. How have you not seen Casino Royale at the very least?
I probably should watch that, and I probably will because it's what year?
Yeah, you'll probably like that one too, because those are the 3 good ones from
Yeah.
Daniel Craig. Spectre is bad. Quantum of Solace is borderline unwatchable.
Damn.
Give me your thoughts on Skyfall really quick while I look up how many James Bond movies I've seen.
This movie's super gay. Like,
Yeah.
out of nowhere. I was like, whoa.
Can we talk about
I was
that
not
scene?
expecting it.
It's
yeah,
so good.
I was like, whoa, where did this come from? That's definitely a choice because I feel like people back in 2012 would have been like, this shit is gay or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. It was cool.
His intro, that shot where he comes down the elevator and he walks slowly toward Daniel Craig and the camera's like slowly pushing in and then we end on a low angle close up. Oh, so good. Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Roger
It's
Deakins
great.
went off.
Who is the DP for this movie?
I just said Roger Deakins. I just said it.
Yeah. He was doing his thing all movie, and I love that. It's kind of giving Nolan the Dark Knight vibes, low key. Am I crazy for saying that? I don't know.
It's the Dark Knight. Yeah, he wanted us to lock him up in the MCU, and then he hacked us.
Exactly. I should probably watch the other James Bond movies just so I'm more familiar with the character. But
What do you need to be familiar with? It's the same guy. But you should watch them though, just to say that you've watched them.
I should spend like a weekend or something watching them. But also, who has the time? I have to work during the weekends. That's cool.
Yeah, you can't because there's 25 movies, so.
Good lord.
And I've seen 12 of them. I just counted. I've seen 12 of them, and I think these 3 Craig Bond movies, the ones that I just mentioned, are the best ones. But yeah, this movie's great. The first chase is pretty good. I don't know if it's on par with the Casino Royale chase, because it's fucking crazy, that one. But yeah, this one has some iconic moments. Bond getting shot off the train and then falling into the ocean. How is he not dead? But also it's a cool transition into the opening credit sequence with Skyfall. Adele killed it. Oh, man. Oh, it's so good. The opening is so... Okay, Glenn, when you watch these other movies, I want you to know that it doesn't get better than this in terms of the opening, okay? You peaked. They're all not going to be as good as this one. It's so good.
Damn.
I think this is the best Bond opening. The Billie Eilish one was pretty good. I've seen all the Pierce Brosnan Bonds, and I saw the first 3 Sean Connery Bonds, and I haven't seen all the ones in the middle. Sue me, but there's no way that the Roger Moore Bonds have a better opening than this one. That's crazy. No. Thomas Newton's score is fantastic, and it sounds really expensive.
It probably was expensive, to be honest.
It sounded crazy. I loved the song, I guess, that they made for the Shanghai skyscraper fight when he's going in and following the assassin. But I did think the score played way too much at the end. I feel like the end was like kind of serious, even though it was literally Home Alone. But I would have loved to have gone through multiple parts of that final set piece with no music at all. There may have been moments without music, but I feel like when the music came in, it was just like way too powerful, and I mean that in a bad way. The close-ups on the rooftop chase look awful. I feel like we didn't need to see that. Because he's not doing anything acting-wise. He's just looking very concentrated on biking or whatever, and I feel like the stunt should have just held on its own. There's a moment in the opening chase too when Moneypenny is like shooting at the assassin, but like in the clear line of sight of civilians, like they're right in front of her gun, and she's shooting at them as he's jumping on the train. I thought that was batshit insane. I hate that overhead shot of the CG helicopters above Bond and Javier at the island.
yeah.
That was gross. Yeah. Didn't need it at all. Not even a little bit. Bond has a couple of like really funny one-liners in this, but my favorite is "I like you better without your Beretta." I thought that was funny.
Yeah. Now for the moment you've all been waiting for.
Number 1 is the movie I keep shitting on in every single fucking video. The Avengers made $623.3 million domestic.
Good lord.
$895.4 million
Good
international, with a worldwide total of $1.5 billion. I'm pretty sure this is still in the top 10 highest grossing films of all time. Yep, this is number 10.
It's about to be overtaken this year, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, probably. This was... What's come out since then? The only movies that were on this list when this movie came out that are still on the list are Avatar and Titanic.
Yeah.
Everything else has come out after the Avengers. So that's crazy. And we're going to get to them. But yeah, let's talk about the Avengers. I haven't seen this movie in a long ass time, and I saw it again. And yeah, still C tier.
Damn.
Not gonna lie.
I'm gonna say A tier.
You're fucking stupid.
A for Avengers. That's right, brother. This shit, it fully encapsulated what it felt to be in 2012, low-key. It feels like the perfect summer movie. It feels like popcorn, fucking explosion entertainment with comic book characters, and it like kind of invigorated my comic book movie, like, oh shit, this shit is cool. And I love it with all of my heart.
You just had like a brain fart aneurysm right there. You're like,
Yeah, I did.
explosions!
That's what this comic book shit used to do to me. And it doesn't do it anymore because they're bad, but you know.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I love this movie. The first 2 acts are kind of slow, but the third act is perfect, low-key.
Yeah, I think the first half is not nearly as impactful as the second half, but there's some good moments in the first half. I think Samuel L. Jackson's a really good center, like a centering force for this film. The fight between Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America is actually watchable, especially in comparison to the shit they're making now. It's like night and day, which is weird because this film doesn't look good because the image is so incredibly flat.
But at least that aspect ratio isn't dog shit.
Yeah, the whole screen is filled up, and the compositions are mostly compelling for the most part, but like a lot of the images are flat. I do think it's crazy how good the effects look, especially since so much of it
weird.
So much of it is during the daytime.
Right? It's so strange.
The final fight is during the daytime, and it looks better than the entirety of Ant-Man and the Wasp. That scene when the Hulk breaks out looks incredible.
The Hulk looks so good. He looks like a real fucking person.
He looks horrifying when he's chasing Black Widow, and then when Iron Man is fixing the propeller or whatever the fuck that thing is, he looks really good throughout the movie.
The Hulk does that little flex when he's fighting Thor, and you can see like his muscles contract or whatever on his traps, and I was like, holy shit, what happened?
It's embarrassing. And like, imagine how good Civil War could have been
if it looked like this.
If the effects looked that good, because by that point, like not even 4 years later, fucking Robert Downey Jr. is a floating head. It's embarrassing.
Here he looks like he's really wearing a freaking Iron Man. Oh god, it's insane.
It looks like a real suit. It looks good. Even when they're in the air. Like there's some backgrounds that are kind of bad, but like they match well in terms of the lighting, that it's not egregiously awful. And some of the bad visual effects are in shots that don't last too long, but there is a moment that is bad throughout, and that's when Scarlett Johansson's on the Chitauri like moped bike thing. That looks horrendous, but the rest of the movie looks great.
I'm like really curious as to what happened. Is it
capitalism?
Did they just get lazy?
No, capitalism. I'm telling you. I've been telling you this whole time. It's capitalism. Let's make more money. Let's exploit the workers and make them do crazy like hours trying to meet these impossible deadlines, and hiring not as many people to do the most work, giving them no time to do it. It's all about time with visual effects. Like you need time. You need time to render shit. You need time to actually make the effect look good. You need time to make the shots look good. Like there's no time for anything. But they have time to rewrite Blade over and over again. I don't get it. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely wild.
Yeah, they just look at the fucking output in phase 1 versus the output now. They have like 10,000 things happening at the same time. They can't
Yeah.
possibly focus and have good quality control. They're doing 2 whole phases in 5 years, when I'm pretty sure phase 1 itself was like 4 years. But this movie looks great, so whatever. I don't like Bruce Banner in this movie. For the most part, like throughout that first half, every other line is, "Hey, did you know I'm the Hulk?"
Really? They want me in a submerged, pressurized metal container?
The comedy is not funny. The only funny joke here,
The Galaga?
no, that joke sucks.
You didn't like Galaga?
No.
I laughed.
Whatever. There's only 2 funny jokes here. One, Thor saying that Loki's adopted. That was funny. I chuckled. I was like, ha ha ha. But when Hulk wakes up Tony at the end, made me cackle. That's a good ass joke. Because the way Robert Downey Jr. sells it, the actual sound of the yell is fucking horrifying. It's a good joke. But the rest of it, it felt so Marvel. But yeah, the ending is just really good, and that's what I liked most about it, is when things go boom. I turn it to you when this movie's on.
That's right.
The payoff is so good. From "that's my secret, Cap, I'm always angry," to when they're planning their plan of attack and Cap says Hulk smash, is so satisfying. That like 2 or 3 minutes is probably the most satisfying moment in this whole series before Endgame. Like Endgame is, that's the most satisfying. But that moment is like, wow, this is what comic book movies could be sometimes. It's really cool. It was kind of magical.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh, that oneer going from each Avenger. There's parts of that look kind of rough, but as a shot, it's very cool. Oh, I got chills when Tony made the sacrifice at the end. That's crazy though, that Cap was gonna like just let him be in space. That's crazy.
Cap's like, fuck it, yo.
He said fuck it, yo, and then he said fuck it, yo about his parents later in the series. That's crazy. Maybe Cap was the villain. I don't care enough to talk about this movie anymore. It's been talked about to death. It has good moments. It's not the best movie of all time, not the best comic book movie, and not even the best movie in the top 10 box office. All right, that's my take.
I think it is. I can't wait to watch the next Avengers movie, and I hope it's as great as this one.
Why are you saying that sarcastically? You know it's not.
I remember when that movie came out and I gave it a 10 out of 10. I was crazy.
Yeah, you were. This is our tier list for 2012. Let's look at really quick so people have a good tease for 2013.
All right, let's do it. Oh, Man of Steel. Da-da.
All right, number 10, Thor: The Dark World. Number 9, Man of Steel. Number 8, Gravity. Number 7, Monsters University. Number 6, the best Fast and Furious movie. Number 5, The Hunger Games: Catching Fire. Number 4, The Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug.
Another Hobbit already? Are they yearly?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Number 3, Despicable Me 2. Number 2,
oh my fucking god.
Iron Man 3. Number 1, Frozen. Yeah.
Oh.
Hell is freezing over this year. God damn, this is going to be awful.
Oh my god.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you agree or disagree, tell us in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends. Do all the things. 2013 looks like hell.
Can't wait to watch them all.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You have to get past the Avengers and Marvel shit at some point, okay? Other people make movies.